Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Juricich, and 15 hours after the fact, we are still hooked on the Niners.
And I'm Terrell Jones, and we'll talk about that devastating loss to the Seahawks up in Seattle.
And I'm Jerry Walker, and even if it's not 15 hours, depending on where the show is seen later on, we're still going to be depressed and devastated. And we'll talk about all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. And when we come back, I'm going to start this show off with the silver lining right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by the Canyon Inn, 650-369-1646, and on the web at www.canyoninn.com. Bach Construction, 650-344-4844, or on the web at www.bachconstruction.com. Lawson's Wildlife Adventures, 650-504-3400. On the web at www.lawsonwildlifeadventures.com. Tisa's Pepper Jelly, 650-787-2357. And on the web at tisaspepperjelly.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Roletto, and I'm a local professional media producer. Thanks to Penn TV's volunteer program, I was able to expand upon my experience and gain some amazing training in the areas of television production right here in the Bay Area. The staff at Penn TV is very skilled and experienced in all aspects of technical production and really helped me learn and grow. If you're interested in finding out more about Penn TV's volunteer program, please visit them at www.penntv.tv and click on the volunteer tab. Thanks, Penn TV.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners.
Here we go.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. I promised you I was going to give you the silver lining, but I'll start with this. What a game.
That was a good game.
I mean, you know, great games aren't only the ones you win.
Right.
You can have a great game and lose, but here's the silver lining. Personally, this is just me. I think the 49ers punctured that balloon.
No doubt about it.
About winning up in Seattle. I don't think anyone, even fans, shouldn't think, oh my God, we got to go to Seattle. We're not going to win.
They manhandled the 12th man.
They did.
Yeah. They just couldn't handle the 13th man.
Right. Exactly.
The guy in the stripes.
The guy in the stripes. There were some horrendous calls, and we had the best officiating crew.
Well, we had an all-star crew, not necessarily the best.
Right. Gene Steratore, I think Gene Steratore calls the best game in the NFL.
I've worked with Gene, and he's an excellent official, great referee. The all-star crew bugs me because you work all year and you get the chemistry. You know what to look for. You know what he's looking for. I know what you're looking for. I know where your position. And then all of a sudden it's an all-star crew. Admittedly, the best of the best.
Right.
But they've never worked together before.
Right.
Well, you know, and the thing too is that they said they got this all-star crew.
Yeah.
Okay. And they said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to maintain. You know, we're going to tone down everything that's going on, you know, the extracurricular activities. Well, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of stuff they missed.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, but this is another thing, too. The Niners are probably going to get fined.
For?
Did you see Jerome Lane on a punt? He went out of bounds and he got knocked down.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was one of the practice squad guys.
I think he's
threw an elbow.
Well, I think he's going to say he was trying to get out of the way.
No, he wasn't.
But you can see I rerun that several
So
times.
did I. Yeah.
But how about there were so many cheap calls against us and bad calls and the roughing the punter instead of running into the punter.
Right.
And Navarro's play at the goal line. I mean, some of those plays didn't matter. The punting, the running, the lack of call on the running into the punter.
Right. But we'll be somewhat objective, and I agree with you guys, but I don't think that's the reason we lost.
Oh, no.
Seattle is very, very, very good.
Very good team. Very, very good team. And I used to work at LSU, and basketball coach Dale Brown, world famous basketball coach, great guy, great speaker. He used to tell the players, we can't complain about the officials.
Right.
You got to play well enough that they can't take it away from you.
Yep.
We didn't do it. We didn't play well enough.
And I got to tell you, you know how I think. I think you guys know after all this time. I'm just tired of our season ending with Michael Crabtree on the right side of the end zone on a play that I disagree with Cap that's the matchup I wanted. I don't think that's where you want to go with that ball.
No.
If you take a look at that tape, Quentin Patton is open up in the flat by about 7 or 8 yards. They have 2 timeouts. I seriously, before that play started, thought we were going to win this game.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
24-23.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No?
I was nervous. I was very, very nervous.
Yeah, I was nervous.
Start the whole game.
Yeah.
The reason why I didn't think so is just the way that the Seahawks were playing.
Yeah.
And like you, I knew where they were going to go. And everybody's saying, Richard Sherman was not a factor in the game. Well, they threw it to him only 2 times.
2 times.
Okay.
One was a penalty.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So why not use Crabtree as a decoy?
Yeah.
Now, wasn't there a Super Bowl game where they used Jerry as a decoy and they threw it to John Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, right, exactly.
You got Bolden, you got Vernon.
This is unfair. I mean, you guys know my stance on Kaepernick. I mean,
I'll say it right before you do. It's unfair no matter what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Yeah. You live by Cap and you die by Cap.
Okay,
but I think the die part can be fixed.
I
think. And the die part to me, which I think, if you told me we could get the biggest stud running back in the draft or free agency or add this guy or that guy, I would trade it all if Colin Kaepernick could look over the field.
And he will eventually.
Exactly.
That's my point.
His career is not based on 2 playoff losses.
It hasn't been defined yet,
I
don't think.
Defined.
Right.
The upside is just too
He's
great.
got so much upside.
But the first interception to Cam Chancellor, when they say that he didn't see them, as I rewind the thing and I'm looking at, how could that's where you were looking?
Oh yeah, no,
that's where you were looking.
Yeah, but I mean, and I like Cap.
Oh, I did too.
I mean, I think he's a great athlete. He's young.
Yeah.
He's learning.
The part I don't like is the post-game stuff.
But
that's.
But I will say this post-game.
Yeah.
Was one of his best besides the head on backwards.
Yeah.
He owned up to everything.
Oh, he did.
He said this was my fault.
I lost this game.
Yes, and I like that.
That's a maturity.
So if we win that game, are you still saying the same thing? About Cap and the interceptions and the fumbles?
I'm still going to say it's live by him and die by him. When he's really, really good, they're terrific.
So Joe Montana, the championship game in '81, how many turnovers?
3 for Joe, 6 total in the game.
Yeah.
But he won the game.
But that's what I'm asking you. Had we won the game, would you be talking about that?
I would still be saying you live by him or die by him, as I would say for Joe.
Okay.
With the 49ers. When he was great, but he was great a lot of the time.
Quarterback always gets too much credit and always gets too much blame.
No question.
How about Cap's running in that game yesterday?
130 yards.
He was, I had it here, he was the offense.
Yes.
Frank Gore, who we all love, 11 carries, 14 yards, or whatever it was.
Well, what a clutch catch in that final drive by Frank Gore.
What blocks on the run, on the 48-yard run. That guy is just, I used to think that Frank was kind of a borderline Hall of Fame guy.
He's a Hall of Famer.
I think so.
He's a solid Hall of Famer, although he may never make it. He may never make it.
Right.
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig should be in there. I know we're getting off of the game, and we've only got, I think, about a minute or so left here, but we'll steal some of your time. And we don't have a third segment to preview a game, so we'll go. But defensively, I mean, to come out first play, sack, recover a fumble, how huge was that?
Oh, it was huge. And I mean, the defense is the defense.
Yeah.
They played well.
They played very well.
I mean, except for a couple breakdowns. But I mean, when Russell Wilson threw that touchdown pass, Carlos Rogers. Can you play it any better?
You cannot.
Yeah,
but
you're right there.
But the thing is, though, is if Aldon Smith doesn't jump off sides, I don't think that Russell Wilson makes that throw. He says, I got a free play.
Right. But both Aldon and Ahmad Brooks stopped. Did you notice that? They didn't rush him.
Yeah.
Thinking there was an offsides call coming.
Yeah.
And the other big play to that, for me, was at the end of the quarter, it was 3rd and 22.
Yeah.
And it starts the fourth quarter. And they do a little dump off to their tight end Miller or something like that. And he gets like 15, which put him into the no man's land of 50-something yard field goal, or punt it, go for it. And they reasoned that. And it looked to me on the sideline that somebody talked Pete Carroll into going for it.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, when they go for it, it's all the big whoa, you know, like I knew it was happening.
Was that the drive that started? They got the ball because of the roughing the kicker?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
I mean, because they didn't call roughing the kicker.
Didn't call roughing the kicker.
That's the biggest play of the game, maybe.
I still just think it was just running into the kicker.
No, I think they hit his plant foot. Well, you and I will arm wrestle during the break. Well, no, we won't.
Yeah, exactly.
When we come back, I think Jerry's got some more show and tell for us, and we'll talk more about this game and a little bit more about next year, or this year, 2014, what the Niners are going to do right here.
We don't need a show and tell.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by California Catering, San Mateo, 650-345-4881. On the web at CaliforniaCateringSanMateo.com. California Catering, South San Francisco, 650-589-0729. On the web at www.california-catering-company.com. California Catering, Emerald Hills, 650-369-4200. On the web at www.cacateringcompany.com. Bay 101 Casino, 408-451-8888. On the web at bay101.com. Check out the Peninsula TV studio with over 2,000 square feet of space in the auditorium of the Samtrans building in San Carlos. One studio, many looks. From a simple talk show to an onstage production, from musical performances to business webcasts, PowerPoint presentations, Skype interviews. With our state-of-the-art control room, we're one mouse click away from going live from our studio to the internet or to Peninsula TV. For more information, call 650-637-1936 or use the Contact Us form at pentv.tv.
All right, welcome back. It's time to get to Jerry's little segment here with stuff that's going to go into the new, not Hall of Fame, but the museum down at the new stadium, which is, that's got to be, are they putting in the carpets and drapes yet?
The walls are up.
The walls are up?
Yeah, and we're still waiting for our tour,
our
personal tour.
Yeah.
This coming week, since we have no shows, this coming week.
Okay, and what will that cost us? I'll foot the bill.
He knew it wouldn't cost.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got? Looks a couple of footballs is what it looks like to me.
So we're not going to have very many autographed items because we don't want to display things that you can go out in the store and buy somewhere or online or something.
Right.
But these two items are pretty cool in that they're team signed balls from the last two Super Bowl championship teams. And there's some pretty good names on here.
That's 94 and 89.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got Montanas and Rices and Youngs and Craigs on here, and there's some pretty good names on here.
And that's
and these are we're doing everything in the heritage wing of the museum is going to be by eras.
Yeah.
So these would be in the Seaford era.
Okay.
And
I like that.
And that's just, we're going to have a variety of items.
There you go. And this, the folks at home can't see this because the cameras can't get that technical on it, but this comes from the era where you could still read somebody's name.
Yeah.
Instead of the scribbling and stuff that they do, and they're more anxious to put their number up there than, if I wanted your number, I didn't know I was going to need a program to figure out who the hell you are.
Right.
that just signed my little piece of paper, but that is going to be must see, that museum. And Dub, we thank you a lot this whole year. You've been bringing stuff and hauling it up here. That's good stuff.
That's my fun part of the show.
Yeah.
My bad part of the show.
Huh.
My unfavorite part. One name, Richard Sherman.
Oh, we went all this time without mentioning his name. It wasn't a conscious effort to do that, but you know what?
My part it was.
Great player.
Yeah.
I almost think that little mess on TV with what's her name?
Erin Andrews.
I said to myself, that proves to me one thing. At some point, Richard Sherman will be involved with WrestleMania. I don't know which number, but it was kind of like a wrestler, the old Muhammad Ali stuff.
But I liked it because he was full of emotion. And when do you actually get a player right off the field like that who's just hyped up? But what I didn't like, though, is that he had time to cool down, and he kept going on when he was on the podium.
Yeah.
I like passion, I like emotion,
Yeah.
but you don't need to rip an opponent. And you don't need to do choke signs, and you don't need to talk bad about an all-star opponent.
And that I agree with too.
And a few people, I wasn't my thought, but a few people wondered maybe if steroids had a little part in that. A little bit too hyped.
Too hyped. And the other thing, you go pat your opponent on the rear end, not in a gesture of, hey, good game, and then offer to shake his hand.
Yeah. And you don't run him down. You don't track him down.
That was a little iffy for me to do that. Just let it go. Go to the sideline.
How about last week? Cap had a chance to do that. Somebody was in his face, and Cap said, scoreboard.
Scoreboard. Yeah, right,
well,
exactly.
When you got a guy like Chris Carter who talked more stuff than anybody else throughout the league, said that Richard Sherman went over the top, you know there's something wrong.
There's something. And I think what Chris Carter said was, "Don't touch me."
Well, and what he said too is, you know what the NFL stands for? Not for long.
Yeah, not for long. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So. That stuff. You can be gone just as fast as you became famous. There's no question about that.
Right.
My heart just went out to Navarro Bowman. That was just so hard to watch.
That was the most sickening part of the day. The defeat, the Richard Sherman, everything, Navarro.
Yeah.
But I think that Fox did him a disservice by kept showing it over and over again. We didn't need to see that.
No.
And then you told me as we were riding up in the elevator, the fans in Seattle, you heard that they threw food at him?
Yeah. They threw food at him while he's being carted off. See,
that's classy.
But, I think that the fans of Seattle and the team has taken on Pete Carroll's persona.
Because that's not necessarily a good thing.
No,
it's not, because if you think about it. So let's talk about New England and Denver really quick, okay? You look how their players conduct themselves, and it's because of their coaches.
Yeah.
Okay. Pete Carroll tells their players, to be aggressive, to be over the top. He could calm down a Richard Sherman, but he chose not to.
Right.
And now the fans have taken this on as well.
Yeah.
And for you to throw food at an injured player, it's classless.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say what would cause somebody to take on a coach's personality, right? I mean, that's dumb. But I'm sitting here in a black sweatshirt and khaki pants, so it just kind of happens. People get so involved in this stuff, so attached to it. I'm attached to it too. The name of the show is Hooked on the Niners. But in the end, it's just our entertainment.
Exactly.
It just really doesn't matter that much. And I'm just sorry there's not a lot more nice game. You guys are better than us. Good luck. But I'll tell you, as much as Navarro Bowman's injury was heartbreaking, what was uplifting was Patrick Willis's post-game press conference, in which he just beautifully stated what he thought about the game, and then he thought about Navarro, and he said, this may come out wrong, but when I heard him get hurt, I didn't care where the ball was anymore.
Yeah.
And that's my running mate, and I'll be there for him. And then he said, I wish Seattle luck in representing the NFC West. Now there is a mature outlook for most people. It's the way we should be.
Exactly.
But I do notice we have a Denver Bronco hat on.
Richard Sherman, being the ambassador of the Seahawks, has turned me into a Peyton Manning fan.
Are you going to start talking with a slight Southern drawl by the time this show's
Omaha, Louisiana poker.
But
no, I get it.
I used to tell people I'd pull for two teams every week: the Niners and whoever's playing the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now it's whoever plays the Seahawks.
Whoever plays the Seahawks, no question. One quick thing, you having been the PR director, and we talked about this. Why not eliminate those interviews on the sideline right after a game? I'm surprised we don't get more of that.
Wait a minute. Do we really have to tell him?
Why?
It's the almighty dollar.
I understand.
That's what it is.
I understand.
These networks are paying so much money.
Yeah.
And Fox's ratings with that interview alone went through the roof.
Yeah.
But you know what? They cut it off.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid of the language that was going to come out of Richard Sherman's mouth.
Yeah. The YouTube hits or whatever are just going to be huge.
I used to actually battle the NFL about not bothering our coaches on and off the field at halftime.
Right.
And post game, there's a time we can get. We're in a deadline. We're in a time crunch.
Yeah.
There are some places. They're almost like I don't know, sneaking up on you, and that's not good.
Right. Well, I noticed in the first game, Denver and New England, Belichick didn't do either one, either coming onto the field or going off the field. So I guess, he's going to be fined or something by the NFL or whatever happens there.
You can relay the information without having to stop for the interview on camera interview. You can relay the information. Here's what we talked about, and keep walking. There's body language. The reporter knows, the crew knows, the coach knows. Richard Sherman probably seeked out that interview.
No, actually, they went after him.
Did they?
Yeah, they said it this morning. They went and found him. They weren't even going to talk to him because, he's only been targeted twice.
Yeah.
They were going to go after Russell Wilson, but then after that play,
let's put it this way. Let's split the middle between the two of you. He was probably hanging around the guy that was seeking him. This is probably the way it was. All right, we come back. We'll kind of take a little look at the 49ers next year, right here on Hooked on the Niners. Or this year. 2014. This year. Not next year. The next season. Whatever.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by Parkside Grill, 650-529-9007. On the web at www.parksidegrill.net. Handlery Hotel, 1-800-995-HUSH. The website is www.handlery.com. Poplar Creek Golf Course, 650-522-4653. And on the web at www.poplarcreekgolf.com. Eddie Perez and Company, 650-363-5904. On the web at www.eperezpainting.com. Armstrong Carpet and Linoleum Company, 415-751-2827. On the web at www.armstrongcarpet.com.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners.
I'm still fired up.
We're trying to get Jerry heavily sedated for this third segment of the show.
Let's call the Ramones in to get him heavily sedated.
Let me just say one last thing.
There we go.
If you're the best defender in the league, the best DB in the league, you don't need to tell people that.
Absolutely.
And if you are the best defender in the league, and you can't cover a sorry receiver, then you shouldn't be bragging about that anyway. And he's not a sorry receiver.
The late Ken Venturi, God rest his soul, once told the story about having a conversation with his dad when he was telling his dad, those guys can't beat me. I'm the best guy out there. No one can beat me. I'm just the best. And his dad tapped him on the thigh and he said, when you're really good, they'll come and tell you. You don't have to tell anybody. And I think that's the truth. I think that's Jimmy Johnson, one of the greatest defensive backs ever. What a real nice gentleman he was. Never said a word. Never, and guess what? Nobody passed on his side.
Same thing with Ronnie Lott.
Right, absolutely. Eric Wright. Well, no, I'm kidding, Eric. I love Eric.
If Eric had been healthy.
That was I always said Eric was Deion Sanders without all the flash and dash. He was that good. All right, next year. First of all, it's going to be a tough offseason. I mean, if last year was tough, that was the Super Bowl. This is your in-division rival. Losing the conference championship game. It's going to take a while. Like you were saying that you get 24 hours. But this 24 days.
One of the hardest things, and Jerry and I talked about this is the last time they're going to be together. So when you're in there and you clean out your lockers and you're saying goodbye to people, you're going to see some tears coming.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some changes.
Well, and then there's some people that probably will be back. I'm assuming they're getting near, Justin Smith, Frank Gore. Vernon Davis isn't as young as he used to be. Neither is Patrick Willis, even though I think they still have a lot of football to be played. But you got to be thinking in those terms. I personally think that just by what they have on their roster already, they're going to be better next year with Chris Culliver, who was supposed to be their slot DB. Got hurt. Ian Williams was their starting nose tackle. And then two guys that they might have aimed at Justin Smith and Frank Gore, Tank Carradine and Marcus Lattimore. So if those injuries are healed and Navarro Bowman heals up and Mike Iupati, net across the board, all things being equal, it's a very solid team for the future. The big thing for them is they are paying a star quarterback a low amount of money, which allows them to have money to go out and get other guys. Those
days are over.
He's
worth 10 or 15 mil.
Right, which means, example, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman. Can we afford them both? You say, well, we got to have them, right?
Right.
Okay, can we afford Anquan and Crab? You know, you start to have to make those decisions as a team.
Right.
Now, as far as the draft goes, they are in good shape. Just as it stands right now, they have the 30th, 56th, 61st, 77th, and 94th pick of the draft. That's a 1, 2 2s, and 2 3s. They will probably get at least 3 or 4 compensatory picks for people like Deshaun Golson and Ricky Jean Francois and you know, Delaney Walker.
Right.
So they could have as many as 13 picks in the draft next year.
Right.
To move to get up and
To
get
package.
somebody. The guy I'm voting for here, Sammy Watkins.
I don't think he'll be there.
No, but
I
they're
don't-
going to have to package
they're
a
gonna-
lot to
they're gonna
move
have
up.
They're going to have to do a lot. But the thing is that there are some receivers that I think they can go after and keep those picks.
Yeah.
You know, you got Beckham from LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and he's a big guy. You know, you got Lee from USC.
Yeah.
You know, you got the kid coming out from Florida State. Cooks from Oregon State as well.
Mike Evans from Texas A&M.
He'll be gone.
Johnny, well,
Yeah, but he's good.
these are
Yeah.
guys that
Right.
are go up and gettable.
Right. Exactly.
Make up a word there.
You know-
and LSU guys do translate very well to the NFL.
Anyway,
In other words,
so
they can play.
Holy
Omaha. See?
I like
So
that.
now we know what Omaha means. You
Now
don't
we
suppose
know.
Peyton watches this crap? No, I don't. He probably
He
doesn't.
finds us online.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably does.
But you know, also in the second and third and the fourth round, there's some people that'll be around there. I'll tell you one guy that you should look at drafting is Baptiste out of Nebraska,
Yeah.
the DB.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
6'2", 220.
Yeah.
You know,
And moves very well.
exactly. So why not spend a second round or a third round draft pick on this kid?
Yeah. Well, we probably before the draft or after the draft to analyze or to preview the draft, we'll maybe cobble a show together. But when you've
Cobble a
got
show together.
five picks in
Nice,
the top,
Geppetto. I like that.
five picks in the top 94, I'm thinking that you use at least 2 of those. If we had 3 of the top 50 or top 60, would satisfy me if we could move up, because the team really doesn't need a lot.
They need to keep the core together.
They do.
Right.
They do.
And there's a few spots that they can improve on, yes.
Yeah. And then, to that end, Greg Roman could be gone. Nick Fangio, they may get jobs in other places.
No, they'll still be there
You think
because
so?
there's only one slot open now. It's the Browns, and that's about to be closed, from what I
Okay.
understand.
All
So
right.
yeah,
They deserve to be head coaches somewhere.
exactly.
But
exactly.
I like to have them around.
Oh, yeah.
They're
I do like
two of
to
the
have them
best
around.
ever was.
Well,
Yeah.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Do we bring
Gotta
in
go quickly.
Do we bring in another center?
Oh, there you go.
Jonathan Goodwin.
Well, I think Kilgore is the guy that they've got there. Hey, listen, we got just enough time, guys. I can't tell you what a kick it is to show up here.
Thank you
with
very much for
guys.
having
Oh
us.
no, you guys are absolutely the best. And thank you for watching us all year long. This is obviously our last show. Stay in touch with us at lovetheniners@aol.com, lovetheniners@aol.com, or check out our website, hookedontheniners.com. 5 seconds or less, who's going to win?
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos?
Broncos.
Broncos. It's unanimous. No, it's not. Go Niners. See you later.
Omaha.
Two more shows next year.
Yeah, 2 more shows next year. That's
more
exactly
shows.
what we want to do. All right. Good stuff.